The Chair of KeNHA Board, Architect Wilfred Angumi, board members present, our invited guest, all protocols observed. Good morning again. Ladies and gentlemen, our esteemed stakeholders, I would like to extend a warm welcome to you all today as we gather to validate the strategic plan for Kenya National Highway Authority, KeNHA. Today, our mission is to get your views, comments, additions, and suggestions on the strategic plan 2023-2027. This is a very crucial since it's a requirement of the law that we must involve our stakeholders. We are thus very honored to have you here today. Asanteni sana. The journey of this fourth generation strategic plan started in July last year. This is when the previous strategic plan 2018 to 2023 was in its final leg. Thereafter, a technical working group was appointed from various departments within KeNHA to spearhead this process. And then we chose Akal Consulting Company through open tender, who has been working with the technical working group for that period. But at this juncture, Chair, I would wish to introduce the technical working group that has been burning the midnight oil to reach here. I'll call their name, then they can wave. And I'll start with Mr. Ronald Othiambo. Stand up. Then we have Engineer Clarence Carrot, who is also our MC. We have Engineer Gerard Makori, seated there at the back. Then we have CPA Stephen Musioka, you can see he's behind there. Then we have Engineer Albert Simutwa, he's hiding behind the pillar. Then we have Martin Kaurai. Is Martin Kaurai here? I've not seen him. Then we have Mr. Kimani Karumba, Mr. Eric Wamai, I'm also not seeing him. Then we have John Moraya. Then we have Ms. Marianne Moy. Then we have Mr. Maruti Lawrence, also not here. And then we have Ms. Rebecca Mutunga. And then lastly, yours truly, me. What I can say, the team was comprehensive. It had lawyers, it had accountants, it had engineers, and the engineers were majority since our core business is in the engineering. Ladies and gentlemen, as we embark on this journey, it's important to emphasize the KeNHA's core values that will guide our action and decision throughout the implementation of this plan. They are accountability, sustainability, innovation, and teamwork. Please let it be noted that these are not just mere words. These are the principles that will underpin every aspect of our work. And our strategic plan, in the initial stage, we looked at what are the issues. And I'll mention the issues that came out. One was need for quality national trunk roads. That is developing our road network to the highest standard, safety and enhancing capacity. The next thing is protecting and preserving our road asset. This involves safeguarding our valuable road asset for the benefit of now and in the future. Then 3, environmental and social issues, addressing the environmental and social impacts of our projects, demonstrating our commitment to being responsible developers. 4th, we were having effective and efficient system, implementing effective and efficient processes in KeNHA to maximize on the scarce resources, the small shilling. Then, lastly, it was institutional capability, strengthening our organizational capacity to deliver on our mission and objective. In addition to these objectives, our strategy recognizes the importance of green energy and the potential of reduced road maintenance levy. Therefore, the need to source for new funding. This is well captured in our strategic plan. Today, your input and validation are pivotal. As stakeholders, your perspective and expertise is priceless in shaping this strategic plan that will reflect on our shared visions for the future of Kenya national trunk roads. Your feedback will ensure that our strategy is comprehensive, adaptable, and aligned with the needs and the aspiration of our country. Thank you again for being part of today's validation, and be assured your input will be highly appreciated and incorporated in making the strategic plan 2023-2027 a much better plan. Asanteni sana. Before I invite the chair, I'll want to pass the apology of our Director General. He is held in a meeting with our PS due to various issues, but he has promised to join us shortly, and then he'll actually come and make his remarks as a closing remark. So with those few remarks, I wish to invite our Chair, Architect Winfried Angumi. Asanteni.
Good morning. Distinguished guests, our stakeholders, ladies and gentlemen, before I make my remarks, let me give the opportunity to my colleagues to introduce themselves. Maybe we'll start with the board members present. If you could give them the mics. Director, you'll also introduce yourself again and the institution that you represent.
Good morning, Brenda Mayabi, LSK nominee.
Good morning once again. Yeah, my name is John Mose. I'm the board member representing the PS Transport to ensure that all issues transport are incorporated in KeNHA's activities. And once again, welcome all of you. Your inputs will be very valuable to improving our document. Thank you.
Thank you, board members. Reason I asked that they mention the institution they represent is because our board is actually comprised of stakeholders represented. My name is Winfried Angumi. I represent industry through Kenya Association of Manufacturers. We also have representation on the board from the Institute of ISPAC, accountants. We have LSK, we have academia, we have Institute of Surveyors of Kenya, we have, yes, academia or tertiary. We also have IEK, the Institute of Engineers of Kenya, and LSK as independent members. We also have representation from the CS Treasury, the PSS for roads, and also the PS Transport. So at KeNHA, we are very cognizant of the importance of stakeholders, and we are really looking forward to the engagement at this workshop. I take this opportunity to thank you for honoring our invitation to this forum on the validation of the authority's 5-year strategic plan. This occasion marks a significant milestone in our journey towards the provision of a safe, resilient, and more sustainable road infrastructure. The plan encompasses our commitment to embracing technology, providing sustainable road infrastructure, implementing government development priorities, and utilizing data analytics to support informed decision-making. This plan represents our vision and dedication to serving the needs of our society, economy, and environment. The plan encompasses our commitment to delivering on our mandate and spells the roadmap towards achievement of our vision. Road infrastructure is critical as an enabler to the achievement of KeNHA Vision 2030 and the bottom-up economic transformation agenda better. The plan prioritizes the development of key road links to facilitate the achievement of better and will adopt innovative approaches, technologies, and financing to facilitate the achievement of the targets. This plan provides for timely road maintenance to sustain the condition of our network in good condition and ensure the functionality and durability of the national trunk road network. Well-maintained roads are essential for minimizing disruptions, ensuring optimal functionality, and extending the lifespan of our road assets. The authority will utilize data analytics to support informed decision-making, deploy modern technology, harness the power of innovation, apply resources optimally, proactively address emerging challenges, and constantly engage our stakeholders in the implementation of the plan. The plan has proposed measures to enhance mobility, address congestion, improve road safety, and enhance the user experience. Through close collaboration with government agencies, development partners, local communities, and private sector partners, we will ensure that our road network is designed to meet the evolving needs of our society. Together, we will foster economic growth, enhance regional connectivity, and drive social development. As we validate our 5-year strategic plan today, I invite every one of you to participate in shaping the future of the development and management of the national trunk roads. However, together, we will build a network that drives economic prosperity for all. Thank you for your unwavering support and commitment to our shared vision. So that ends my remarks. I just wish to invite everyone to participate and give us as much feedback as possible so that then we can finalize the strategic plan and ensure that it responds to all our stakeholders' needs. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair, for setting the tone. As the consultant rises to take the podium, I want to ask our team just to play the 2-minute video that will also ingrain the strategic plan in our mind as they set up. Please.
The authority is finalizing the development of its 2023 to 2027 strategic plan. The plan is fully aligned to the government's development agenda of bottom-up economic development agenda, and it will be key in delivering our mandate, which is development, rehabilitation, management, and maintenance of all national trunk roads comprising Class S, A, and B roads. Our vision is to be a quality national trunk road network to all for prosperity. Our mission is to develop and manage resilient, safe, and adequate national trunk roads for sustainable development through innovation and optimal utilization of resources. Our core values are accountability. We endeavor to be reliable, take personal responsibility to honor our commitments to our stakeholders. Our other core value is sustainability. We undertake to promote sustainability in all our work. Our other core value is innovation. We commit to continuously improve our processes, nurture new ideas, and exceptional talent. Our final core value is teamwork. We commit to active participation, collaboration, and partnerships towards shared goals. The authority is committed to provide resilient, safe, and adequate infrastructure that meets stakeholder needs. to adopt innovative approaches to ensure that our road network maintains its functionality and durability, to adopt technology and data analytics to increase effectiveness and efficiency in its operations, to effectively engage and partner with its stakeholders in effective delivery of the strategy, to embrace productivity and improve capability in development and management of national trunk roads.
Are we being technologically challenged? Can you use yours? Just one there. Connect to that one. So good morning. I'll be very brief, but not too brief, because my brief, where are the lawyers? Because my brief is to take you through what we worked with KeNHA up to the realization of the draft strategic plan that is with you. My name is Dr. Benjamin Karume. I work for a consulting firm called Akal Consulting. We do a lot of things in management management consulting. We are also in systems. We are in research. We are also in financing. This docket is strategy, and I was privileged to lead a team that worked with KeNHA towards the delivery of the strategic plan. So I'll give you just a synopsis of what is contained in the strategic plan and the thinking behind some of the proposals within the plan. I hope you've been able to access the plan through the backward in your programs, so that as I'm discussing it, then we are able to read from the same page. The agenda for this presentation is a brief of KeNHA, which has already been talked about. The process, I think Engineer Gatitu talked about the process. Alignment to BETA and MTP4. The strategic model that KeNHA has adopted for the next 5 years. The key strategic issues and goals that we seek to accomplish in the next 5 years. The key result areas, the strategic results and choices. What are the financing requirements for this plan? What are the critical success factors? And finally, what will be the performance standards for KeNHA within this planning period? I will not spend much time on the brief of KeNHA, but it is important to know that KeNHA is responsible for Class S, Class A, and Class B of the roads in Kenya. In total, it's about 21,500 kilometers, and more are still coming. But that was our working figure at the time of preparing the strategic plan. So what did the process entail? The process entailed a board resolution that came up with a decision that KeNHA needs a new strategic plan that will also align with the new government thoughts and the new dispensation. After that, I think the committee, the technical working group, was appointed. We talked to all members of staff. We also did a lot of consultations on various issues affecting the sector and also affecting the operations of KeNHA. We also did a performance assessment just to take stock of where we are, why we have achieved what we have achieved, and why we have not achieved what we have not achieved. After that, we went for a retreat with the board for a visioning workshop, which gave rise to the new thinking within KeNHA. I think we also did a lot of internal and external analysis. Some of the results are in the document before you. We did look at the external operating environment, which gave rise to opportunities and threats. We also did a thorough analysis of the internal operating environment, which gave rise to strengths and weaknesses. After that, we went into a process of strategy development, which included both the technical working group having their sessions. We also had the management, and we also had the board being part of the strategy development process. Then the process was validated with the results and the outputs by the board, and the board gave us a go-ahead to share our dream with stakeholders. So at this stage, we are on the second last phase of the process, which is now stakeholder engagements and validations, so that we are sharing with you the dream that we have come up with. After this, after your comments have been incorporated, we still have to forward it to the ministry, and then it goes to Treasury, the State Department of Economic Planning for final approvals, and then it comes back to KeNHA for adoption and implementation. Therefore, at this stage, your input is very, very critical, because it will help us shape the direction. A quick look at the MTP4 and BETA. On the MTP4 priority areas, there were 5 which are relevant to KeNHA. One was inclusive growth, people-centered. Under this, KeNHA is part of the construction of the 6,000 kilometers of roads. I think our share is around 1,300. Highways, roads maintenance, construction of footbridges, road safety project, we are also part of it, and then the decongestion of the Nairobi metropolitan area, we are also part of it. On corporate governance, as an MT4 priority area, we are on the road sector institutional reforms, so KeNHA will also be part of those reforms that are taking place within the road sector. On digitalization of services as a priority area, we are also digitalizing our services and records so that they can be accessible, so that we can also improve on the turnaround time it takes to provide some of these services. We are also in the process of implementing the intelligent traffic management system within our highways, and I think most of you've seen some work going on already. On issues of expansion of revenue base, we are, part of our target is to commercialize some of our road assets so that they can also help us to generate revenue that will go back into maintaining some of those roads. We are also thinking about having some special roads which can be tolled so that they can also be able to maintain themselves. As you all know, the fuel levy is slowly shrinking. Finally, on alternative financing, I think we are going PPP, and we have good lessons that we've learned from the Nairobi Expressway. So within this plan period, we will expand our alternative financing mechanisms in the road sector. On the MTP4, on the we have some strategic roads that have been identified in the strategic plan, which will help boost agriculture. We have others that will help boost micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. We have others that will boost access to healthcare. We also have projects that are linked to affordable housing, and I think within the bigger document we have enumerated them. We also have our contribution to the digital superhighway and creative economy. So I will not spend a lot of time on this, but basically that is our linkage. KeNHA is also responsible for other regional and international obligations by this country. We are part of the Africa Agenda 2063. We are also part of the EAC Vision 2050, and we are also implementing some key provisions of the Sustainable Development Goals. So having considered all that, having looked at our performance, having looked at all our obligations, we were able to map out our strategic direction. So our strategic direction as KeNHA is summarized in our mandate, vision, mission, and core values. They have already been announced here. Our mandate still remains. Our vision has been improved to a quality trunk road network for all, for posterity. This means we are now putting Wanjiko at the center of our vision, as opposed to previously where we were inward looking. Our mission remains the same because it drives exactly from what we do. Our core values have been improved so that now we have four key core values with the acronym of ACID, that is accountability, sustainability, innovation, and teamwork. So to achieve this strategic model, we have identified key issues and goals that KeNHA will pursue or will seek to address in the next 5 years. The first issue, which I think Engineer Gatitu raised them, is the quality of our national trunk roads. And the goal here is to provide quality infrastructure that will meet the stakeholder needs. The second issue was on protection and preservation of our road assets. And here the goal is to ensure our road network maintains its functionality and durability. The third issue that arose from our analysis was environmental and social issues. And here the goal is to enhance environmental and social sustainability. I think there's a mix there. On effectiveness and efficiency of our systems, it was another issue that was raised. The goal is to increase our effectiveness and also improve on our efficiency in operations and delivery of services. Finally, we also have an obligation to develop our capability in the management of national trunk roads. So in short, those are the 5 key issues that we tend to address within the next planning period. What were the key resort areas under those issues? So the first key resort area was planning and development. The goal, as I've said, is to provide adequate infrastructure that meets the stakeholder needs. What are the key strategic outcomes envisaged under this key resort area? Number 1 is to increase the proportion of our paved road network to 61%. Number 2, to reduce the average travel time in our highways by 8%. And then number 3, to achieve a 25% return on investment on all completed projects. Some of the selected outputs under this key resort area is 1, to have a 50-year National Trunk Road Master Plan developed. 2, 5,575 kilometers of road network to be designed. 3, 1,183 kilometers of new roads to be constructed. 4, to enhance capacity of 674 kilometers of the road network. And 5, to rehabilitate 492 kilometers of roads within our network. That is the first key resort area. The second key resort area was on road asset management. And here the goal was to ensure our road network maintains its functionality and durability. What were the key outcomes we envisaged? Number 1 is to have 80% of our trunk road network categorized as good condition. The other second outcome is to have 30% of our unpaved road network classified or categorized as good condition. Number 3, we want to achieve a 99% compliance with axle load limits. Number 4 is to have all our road reserve mapped on GIS. Number 5 is that 5% within this period of the road reserve will be on cadastral survey. And finally, we intend to have all our assets, including some of the road assets, having ownership documents. Some of the selected outputs within this key resort area is to have 75,891 kilometers of the road network put under routine, performance-based and periodic maintenance. Number 2 is to have 5,000 kilometers of our road network surveyed, mapped, and demarcated, because some of the critical issues we identified were the loss of some of those assets, including encroachment and other threats to those assets. The third key resort area was to achieve environmental and social sustainability. And here we identified 2 key strategic outcomes. Number 1 is to achieve a 75% plus the ESG index, that is the Environmental Social Governance Index. Number 2 was to ensure 100% compliance with environmental and social safeguards in all our projects. What are some of the selected outputs? We have committed to undertake at least 60 environmental social impact assessment studies. We have also undertaken to implement 5 resettlement action plans to its fullest. Number 3, we are also committing to have at least 8 climate change financing projects being implemented, and then undertake at least 2 customer satisfaction surveys within this planning period, and then of course undertake 25 road safety audits within this planning period. That translates to around 5 audits every year on road safety. On the 4th key resort area, which is effectiveness and efficiency in our operations and delivery of services, some of the key outcomes we envisage is, number 1, we want to have a 100% implementation of this strategic plan. Number 2, we want to achieve a customer satisfaction index of 85% and above. And then we want over 70% of all our services to be automated. Some of the selected outputs within this area, we target to automate 5 key business processes within KeNHA. We also target to integrate at least 7 of our systems with GIS. We are also planning within this period to attain ISMS certification, that is Information Security Management System. And then finally, we want to re-engineer 10 of our business processes so that we improve effectiveness and efficiency. Now, to achieve key result area number 1, 2, 3, and 4, KeNHA as an institution requires to have the adequate capability. Hence, the key result area number 5 is all about having that capability to develop and also manage national trunk roads. What are the key outcomes? Number 1, we want to achieve an 85% plus productivity index. Number 2, we also want to have organizational capacity assessment index at 85% and above. Some of the selected outputs: number 1, we are embarking on a whole process of workplace productivity. Therefore, we want to target 100% of the implementation of that strategy. Number 2, we want to have 2,700 of our staff being trained on various issues and emerging technologies. Number 3, we also want to develop a strategy on on-source revenue, which we also intend to have it implemented 100%. We also want to raise 35 billion through PPPs. And finally, we want also to provide young Kenyans with opportunities for internships. And our target is to have 1,820 graduates within the next 5 years. So in a nutshell, that is what we want to achieve in the next 5 years. However, to achieve this requires money, and it also requires institutional arrangements. What are our financial requirements? I'll give you a summary. Our financial requirements is 705,000 billion 636, almost a trillion. Almost a trillion shillings. We are 200 million short of a trillion. We require that so that we can effectively deliver on what we have proposed to deliver. How are the funds spread? Under planning and development, that is construction and design, and all the other related projects, we are looking at 464 billion. Under road asset management, we are looking at 135. Under improving effectiveness and efficiency, we are looking at 1.8. Under sustainability, 3.5. Under institutional capability, 79. Under administrative costs, 12. And finally, we are also setting aside some 10 billion for contingent liabilities. That is monies that will be used to pay things like pending bills and the rest. So this is our investment requirement for the next 5 years. How do we plan to raise that money? Number 1, we still knock on the door of the exchequer to give us more money. Number 2, we want to ring fence and protect the fuel levy because it is a huge contributor to maintenance, so that we ring fence and protect it so that it can continue serving the purpose it is serving. Number 3, we intend to engage more partners for financing of large projects. Number 4, currently the authority levies some fees and charges, so we still continue to levy the same so that we can also continue to have that revenue stream. Number 5, we want to engage in more PPPs for strategic roads, and PPPs have proven to be a success story. Number 6, we want to utilize some of our assets, such as the road reserves and camps, for commercial ventures. And then finally, some of the key roads might also be subject to some tolling. All this is about raising money for construction, raising money for maintenance, and raising money for ensuring our national trunk road network maintains its integrity and also maintains its quality and durability. Some of the critical success factors that we are looking at for implementation, this is organizational-wide. We are looking at having an action plan every year that will be used also to guide our PC and budgeting process. We are also improving our coordination framework, which will look at issues of institutional arrangements. We'll do some bit of in-house reorganizing We will also address issues of staff establishment, areas where we are under-established and areas where we are over-established. We will do a balancing. And finally, we intend to develop our competence as an authority. Finally, number 3, we also intend to develop effective leadership at all levels of the authority, from the board, management, all the way to supervisors and to the other staff. Number 4, another critical success factor, we will review our systems, some of our systems and procedures, so that they also respond to this strategy. Number 5, which is very important, is management of risk. Is management of the risk associated with the implementation of this strategic plan. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, what are some of the key performance standards? Number 1, throughout this plan period, we'll measure the outcomes. And I think I've talked about it. I've talked about the outcomes we are targeting for the next 5 years, so that we see what changes are coming about as a result of our interventions. We will also measure specific outputs. Outputs are direct results of our activities. So every year we'll be measuring our outputs. What have we achieved year-on-year basis, and how has it contributed to achievement of the outcomes? We will also have indicators that will measure efficiency. This time around, we want to use our money well, and one of the key measures of efficiency is the productivity index. How well are we using our money to get maximum value from whatever we are doing? We will also have measures on effectiveness. Are we achieving our goals, or are our interventions achieving what is desired? Then we have impact indicators within the strategic plan. We'll be looking at how has the life of community members or place where we work, where we do our roads, how has it changed through our interventions? We'll also have stakeholder satisfaction. We will engage you on an ongoing basis. We'll also engage some of the beneficiaries and other stakeholders on an ongoing basis to ensure we get feedback on relevance, quality, and also on the impact of our intervention. If I moved too fast, I apologize, but I was just to give you a gist of what the strategic plan entails. More details are in the other copy. If you're lucky enough, there are a few selected hard copies around. You can always make reference. So, Chair, allow me to pause at that, so that then we can open the floor for further engagement with our stakeholders. Thank you very much.
I hope he was audible. You know, Karume forever, he's averse to the microphone. You give him a microphone and he throws it away. I think we are on point and on time. As per program, once we have the overview of the strategic plan, which has been well articulated by our consultant on behalf of the director, we want to take about 20 minutes break, because there are some of us who also arrived late, so that we can share the tea break. Then we come back for inputs and comments. So as you interact with the document, which we said you can get from the QR code on the program, we want to just say that we are breaking for about 20 minutes. Then we'll reconvene so that we start taking the comments and the inputs, which was the reason why we came. So welcome. And we have about 2 or 3 points of tea. So there are some who are at the entrance and just behind here, so that we can collapse time and come back very fast. Welcome to the tea.